Hello, hello. Okay, let's start. Uh, okay, to create this WebSocket server, you can check my last video. And now let's create a new Nextjs project so we can create it. So we can create the chat application. Okay, I will be using TypeScript, ESLint, Tailwind CSS, and source directory, and also app router. And I don't want to customize the default import alias. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, great. The Laravel View WebSockets tutorial will be coming soon using Pusher. We will be integrating that in our chat application. Okay, now we have the Nextjs project set it up. So now what we have to do is just first try to run this and check if it's running fine. Okay, the page is running fine. So now let's install two things. That is Shayan for UI and okay, Shayan UI is being initialized. So let's now it's initialized and we need some component. So let's go into the blocks of Shayan and copy this block. Let's create a new directory named, let's change the app page and add that. After that, we will be have to install all shared scene components that are required by this page. So, so let's install it. First thing is label. Then it's text area, tooltip, and the last is button. So I will add all these in the same command and it will install all of the components in my components directory with components slash UI and all the components there. And also we need to install Lucid React so that we can use these icons. Okay, now Lucid React is also installed and Shared and all components are installed. Now let's check it out, how it looks. Okay, so you have to wrap this in tooltip provider. All the tooltips should be in tooltip provider. Okay, now it looks something like this. So let's create a live and yeah, this is the tab where we will show all the messages from different clients. Okay, now let's do like this one. Oh my god, मुझे bully करने के लिए रहते हुए देखा था यार, भाई देखा भाई, bully करने के लिए देखो, yes, एक finger. Maybe अपना आएगा, रिपोर्ट आएगा, रिपोर्ट आएगा. Okay, now we have this. So let's make some padding here. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay, now let's add the logic, and then we will be and then we will redesign it with the messages, with the actual messages. So first thing we have to do is to start our WebSocket server that we created. Okay, now it's started, and what I will do is create a new directory with the name chat, and room ID will be our parameter that will be provided in each chat, and we will make a page.tsx file here, and I will add all the code from there from to here. We also have to import all these into that. So let's and let's add a link here so that people can join from it. And let's add an input where they can add the room ID which they want to join. Yes, told him to not to be too loud. Also add the input from our component that we installed. From the components that we installed of Shayan. We will have to install Shayan input also. Okay, now it's installed and let's import it. Let's add a specific UUID for now, and then we will make it in dynamic afterwards. Okay, now we are redirected to this page, and now we can set up the WebSocket. So let's go into the chat page, and let's do it that I will create a component here. Directory here with the name components so that it cannot affect the routes, and we'll create a chat component here. And that is because this will be a client component, and I don't like my pages to be a client based because I can add uh, any server component in this page also. So I don't like to have a client full page client component. So let's import that. Let's import it. Not Shayan is not only best, but there is also other libraries like Daisy UI. You can use any of them, but I am using Shayan because it's easier and it provides very much customizability. Okay, now we need to add the room ID here so that we can get from the page. And we will just pass this string. Okay, now the chat page, the chat component is almost set it up. Now we will be using the WebSocket connection to make the connection to our backend server. We will use effect and use effect with no dependencies parameters because we need it to be running in the running on the mount of the component. What we need more is that we need WebSocket so that we can add the WebSocket here, set the WebSocket in the state and use that for our application. Other thing is that we can add room ID or channel ID so that we can communicate with different clients or with the user. Okay, now let's create a new WebSocket connection here. For the WebSocket, we need to use this protocol ws:/. If you are using SSL with the WebSocket, you will be using WSS. Okay, now I will add the server IP that have 8000, and we will be also customizing the server because we need some more functionality to make it working with this application. Now let's add the on message event handler so that we can see what's happening. And also we can send a message from here to test if it's working fine. Now let's refresh and test it. Okay, now we are getting the WS. Okay, now WebSocket is being initialized correctly. We will fix this in just a minute. So we are getting the message from our WebSocket server that we have initialized the channel, and we will get the first ID from here, channel ID from here, to send the message. Now let's set it up with the WebSocket and just set it like this. What we have to do is to type save this use state so that we can uh, we can fulfill the requirements of TypeScript. I am coding for almost 10 years now, and I have learned quite much. Firstly, I started with PHP, and uh, after that I tried multiple languages and learned a lot of them. And after that I learned I started creating my own projects. So you can so that's why I have a lot of knowledge about these technologies. Okay, now let's write a function to get the channel ID. What we get is an event that is, as you can see here. Let me show you. Let's send a message here, and let me show you what I mean. Okay, so what we get on the on message is a message event that we have data. So what we will do is we will get the JSON data. Let's say I bring that data out, a dot data. Okay, now let's check it by this. Let's add a on click handler so that we can send message from here. And for now I will just send a message from here. Okay, now you can see that we are getting the message that channel is this and type is in it. For some reasons, the mounted function is runs twice in the development mode. When you will go into the production, this will be fixed. Okay, now let's initialize. When we got, let's check. Let's JSON pass the data first. Because we are getting the string from the WebSocket server. Okay, now this message has been sent and we have got channel and type in it. So what we will do is we will add a switch statement here so that we can check what's the data type we are getting for. In this case we are getting init, so we will do is what we will do is we will add the set the channel with the data dot channel. Okay, now let's print in the channel ID here. Okay, now we are getting this channel ID. What we can also do is we can use the room ID to send the messages. So we can change the channel to room ID if you want. So I will do this and let's let's write it here. Room ID is this. Okay. Now let's create a messages array so that we can push the messages that we got from some other client or the same client in this messages array. It will be a array type of let's create a type name message. What we will create is we will have a text here with a string, and after that we will have status that if it's sent or if it's received message and or it is delivered or not. For now let's do these two properties. We will add array of message here, and we also need the channel here because we need to know where we have sent the message. Okay. Now let's make it dynamic so that if it's 0, so we will print it out. No messages. So let's print the messages also here. Should okay, no messages found. We are getting no messages found. We will loop through all the messages here. For now, we will be using index, but you can add ID here in the messages, and you can use that. So now we will print it here, message or text, and we will be formatting this on the basis of message.status. What we will do here is we will create new messages. We will take the previous state and add the new message. We will create the message here. Next will be data.text, and status will be data.status. We will make channel option for now. Now let's make a changes in our backend server so that it can handle our messages. I've also created the message type here that have client ID, message, and status. So what we will be doing here is that whenever someone sends a message, we will unstructure that message in the JSON and then do use that data or JSON to get the type of the message, and then we will send the message to the main main client that who you want to send message to. Okay, now let's check what we are getting from here. Firstly, we have to write the send message feature function here. So let's write it down. Let's create a state that will store our current message. Send the message. It will be the string. Let's delete this as we don't need it. What we will do is we will add on change handler here. Where we'll just set the value of message. Okay, now we are getting the message. Now we have to send the message through the and channel will be the same. Okay, now let's send the message and try again. We have to write like this here. Okay. Okay, now you can see that we are sending the message here, and we should be getting that in the backend. Yeah, we are getting that in the backend. So let's make it a JSON data so that our backend can handle it accordingly. So what we will do is we will create a message. So we will stringify and send a message. Now let's check it out. You're already connected. We will send a message hi, and let's check it. Okay. Now we are getting this message here. Text, channel, and status. Okay. If you remember that we have set that message have a client ID instead of channel, so you can change it here. You can change it here, or you can send the client ID from the front end. You can change it here also. Okay. Now I will change it in the backend. I will change it to channel, this to text. Okay, now let's restart our server and check it out. We have to restart this because we needed to connect to the new server that we have just restarted. So let's send a message again. Okay, now we are getting the channel text and status. Now let's check what the error we are getting. Now let's refresh and reconnect and check again. Okay, now we are getting the message and no error. And now we are getting the product text. So let's check why we are not getting any data in our data dot text file, text attribute. Like what we are getting in the message. Let's check it why it's not working. let's do it this way, that we create a pointer of name data and then print. Okay. Okay, yeah, but the issue that for Golang you have to have uppercase letters because it needs to be um, exporting these variables. Now let's try it again. Yeah, now we are getting the message with all the details. We can do what we can do is we can print it like this so that we can get the attribute name also. Okay, now you can see that we are getting message type, status, text, and channel.